Welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Raff.
We did it. We made it.
Because when a band's name starts being everywhere, it can be very easy to go like, okay, like.
Just because I know what it's like to feel left out and to feel like people are weird or mean to you, and so I never want to be that person. And I want.
This here is my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
Big opportunity. You guys must be stoked you're on the first day too, because you can just sort of shoot. Yeah, you can just relax.
Brian was sitting down with his our longtime friend and his former bandmate Meegs from Cold Chamber, and they were having coffee, and Brian was.
When those questions go, those hearty chuckles.
You know what that laughter says to me is like, people y'all don't even know what's coming. People are just going to be minds are going to be blown by that.
No, it will be a fucking banger.
What is happening, everybody? I am the Reverend Raff, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
What's going on, everybody?
We are the Two Dudes Who Talk Music, and we are back today with another podcast episode for you. We have 6 videos that are coming out every week on YouTube. So if you're interested, please, be amazing if you could hit that subscribe button. We also do have a Patreon. So if you're interested in getting stuff early and ad-free, you can hop over there. But yeah, six videos every week, band interviews, reactions, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, well, look, let's before we get into our guest today then, mate, how you doing? How you been? What's been happening?
Dude, I'm good. I've got the footy going over to my left, just watching my Bulldogs come home for 12 minutes left to go. I'm feeling good about this year, man. Just got some fresh drip from my cousin over in the UK.
Very
Sent me
nice.
this beautiful Hemel Hempstead Junior Football Club trainer's jersey or jacket or whatever it is. Beautiful and comfortable, so I thought I'll wear that tonight.
Hampstead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go Hampstead.
So, yeah. But other than that, man, kids are good. It's been hot. Like you did just ask before if it's been a bit of a heat wave. And yes, it has been. It's been hot in Sydney, man. It has been hot. We've had a lot of rain over the last couple of days, so one of those days was very muggy.
Summer's last gasp.
So, yeah, and it always does it. It always does it. One last hit before it goes.
Yeah. Always the way, mate. Always the way. That's Sydney for
How
you.
are you going? Like, I'm sure the cyclone's gone and
yeah, man. We're doing all right now.
Getting back to normal.
Yeah, getting kind of back to normal. Driving to and from work, I've been seeing where there was some trees downed and stuff. So just
Dang.
little bits here and there. Just it's been, again, thankfully, at least up in the north side, there hasn't been too much damage or anything from it all. Just a few trees down, some fences that are going to need mending, but for the most part, it seems like there's not been not too many people getting hurt, and property stuff can be replaced. People can't. So
no, they can't. They can't.
So yeah, but that's doing all right, and just working on stuff here and there, like I said, just trying to get ahead on stuff for the channel so that we're not sort of riding on the edge of every week we're doing the content that we're releasing that week,
Yeah, there's nothing worse than living week to week.
And beyond that, been working on music stuff a little bit. I got some plans in the works with Shannon. Good old mate Shannon, to start working on some things, trying to have regular sessions to work on whatever together, just keep the creative juices flowing, which will be good. That should be a lot of fun. And beyond that, man, working on making a couple of inquiries on things in the background. I don't want to put anything out there and make any announcements prematurely, but, I've put some inquiries out to some certain things, so you might, if things go well, you might see me popping up on other things soon, maybe, but we'll see.
Good.
We'll see how that goes. But look, we are going to get into it today because we have another band. We've been hitting Europe pretty hard, man, lately. This has been...
Well, when they've seen what we're doing and they're picking up what we're putting down, so why not?
Absolutely.
This is what we do it for.
Absolutely. Now, we got contacted by a German stoner doom band from Germany. Of course, they're a German band from Germany. I don't know why that was redundant. There's probably a very specific German word for that type of... There's probably a specific German word for that type of blunder. But so we have a band with us today. They are a stoner doom metal band from Germany, and they have an Aussie tour coming up. So you're going to be able to go and check these guys out in person real soon, which is awesome. And we're really excited to have them on. So we're going to be diving into them in a moment with a band called Earthbong from Germany. And you want to check them out. If you like your sludgy, stoner, doom metal, like if you like it filthy, drenched in reverb and just 20-minute songs, like the whole deal, this is the shit. You're going to want to listen to this. So, and hey, if you get lucky at the gig, you might get to hear 3 songs. So
exactly.
But yeah, they're going to be heading all over the place. They're heading to Victoria. They're heading to South Australia, New South Wales, Canberra. They're not doing Brisbane, surprisingly, which is unfortunate because I'm not going to be able to get to see them at a show. But
I'm going to try.
If this is your jam, if stoner metal is your jam, you are going to want to pay attention to this episode, and you are going to want to go and check that out. We will try and include as many ticket links as we can in the description.
Yeah, man.
So make a point of checking these guys out. Earthbong, go and check. They've got 3 albums out, so plenty to listen to. But we're going to dive in right now with the guys from Earthbong. Welcome, gentlemen. I know it's Sunday morning for you guys over there in Germany, Sunday evening for us here at the time of recording anyway. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to chat to all of you. So we have Klaas, Tommy, and Sally from Earthbong with us today. These guys have got an Aussie tour coming up real soon, which is the whole point of having you on to talk about that. We're really excited. We've been checking out your stuff for the last few weeks, trying to get a bit familiar with it. Love it. Love the work. Great stuff. I think if anyone was to ask me, what's a perfect example of, doom metal, stoner metal, whatever, like the kind of stuff you guys are putting out is exactly what I would show them. So props on that. But you guys had a gig last night. How did that go?
Yeah, that
Pretty
went
good.
pretty good. Great crowd, lots of friends around. We don't play hometown shows that often anymore, but if we do, that's a perfect example of how it should be.
Oh, so I'm assuming everyone's feeling a bit dusty because it would have been a very short trip home.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Been on the beers.
Yeah, could leave the car at the venue. We just after the interview, we're gonna head there and pick up all the stuff.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yes.
Awesome. Love it. And I mean, look, you Germans don't fuck around when it comes to your beers, right? So
Usually not.
You're beer drinkers, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
awesome. That's great. That's really cool.
I can't wait for you guys to try some. Have you ever been to Australia before? Is it your first time or?
First time, yeah.
I've been once.
Oh, you're either gonna love or you're gonna hate Australian beer.
Yeah, don't drink Fosters. We don't drink Fosters over here.
Fosters.
That's not the stuff. I know that how we get presented on TV. We don't drink Fosters. You want to look at like maybe a VB or something like that. The green,
getting spicy there.
VB is a very classic Australian beer that a lot of people get into. But yeah, I think there's a lot to learn and a lot to experience over here. When were you over, Sally? Was it like a holiday or?
Yes, but it was a really long time ago, like 20 years. I was a little child, basically.
Okay, awesome.
I have some relatives in Australia living there.
Oh, nice.
And we went there for like visits with patients and
very cool.
Like this. It was great though. It was Melbourne area, like Geelong and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
Really, really pretty country. This is what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's look, we're not a perfect country over here, but the landscapes are always, usually pretty impressive. That's one thing you can kind of rely on over here. It's always good to see. So I'm just going to run through these dates that you guys are playing because you got a nice run of shows here. So April 11th at the Vault in Geelong, April 12th at the Crown and Anchor in Adelaide. April 17th at La La Las in Wollongong.
Oh, wow.
18th of April at the Potbelly in Canberra. 19th of April, you're playing the Stoned to Death Festival in Sydney. 24th of April at the Bendigo Hotel in Melbourne. and the 26th of April, we're playing SunBurn 6 Festival in Frankston. So that's a solid run of shows that you guys are hitting over here.
Doing La La La's and then Canberra's. That's good. That's a nice little.
I'm already scared about the time we have like shows back to back, and it's you guys live like such big distances between your cities. Not like Germany where you have to drive like 2-3 hours and you're in the next bigger city.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
Have you got a driver or?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stay awake for the first 15 minutes of the drive, and then it all looks the same after that, and then just spend the rest of your time trying to catch. I'm being dead serious. Just try and spend the rest of your time catching up on sleep in between spots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you've at least got 4 or 5 hours in between most, like just really your Sydney ones. You because you go La La La's, then Canberra, and then you're in Sydney. So that's going to be probably the toughest part.
That'll be a nice short trip. It's not too long around there. Like, Wollongong to Canberra is only going to be like a few hours, two or 3 hours there. Canberra to Sydney is only about three hours, maybe 4 if you hit bad traffic. So that little section should be pretty good. I mean, the drive from Geelong to Adelaide is a bit more hectic, but you'll see some nice bushland through there. And then so it's not a bad run, and you got some stuff, a few kind of free days in there here or there, which will be good.
Yeah, we're going to check out the Blue Mountains, and definitely do some tourist stuff and get around there.
Cool. Yeah, Blue Mountains is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice region.
The thing is, we got to drive with 2 cars because we wanted to get funding on the tour from the German government, but we didn't get it. And if we would have get it, we would have rented a bigger car for all of us, because we're on the tour with the Lucy Fungus, who Brad of Lucy Fungus also booked all the shows for us. So shout out to them, great guys. And but they don't have a big car. And so we have to split up on like 2 cars with all the backline and stuff. And so Tommy and I have to got our international driver's licenses. I don't think that we will can avoid driving at all.
No. Just take your time.
Take your time with it. Take your time with it. Honestly, I think the longest single stretch that you've got there for back-to-back shows is going to be Geelong to Adelaide. So just take your time with it. Don't rush. There's plenty of those kind of journeys. There's plenty of like roadside, service stations, gas stations, like truck stop type things you can stop at along the way. They tend to be on those kind of routes. You're looking maybe every like hour or so. You'll probably have one, so it's never too far. But just take your time. Be patient about it. You'll get there. You'll be fine. But there's a lot to see along the way, and I mean the Blue Mountains, as you mentioned, you're going to check that out. That's a beautiful region. I'm like, we're excited for you guys to be coming over here and playing shows, but also to experience like a bit of Australia, right? Like there's a lot. Just remember, like any kind of wildlife, any kind of wild animals, like out in the wild, just don't touch them. Don't touch them. Leave them alone. Even if you think, that
don't be that chick that just grabbed the wombat.
Yeah,
the baby
exactly.
Wombat.
Like, just got in so much trouble for that. Just don't be worrying about any of those. But if you want to get some up close looks at stuff, there's plenty of nature parks around. Like when you're in Sydney, there's a spot called Featherdale Wildlife Park in Western Sydney. Like that's a really good one to go to. They got lots of, tons of Australian wildlife all through there. You can get nice and close with, and I think they do have. I don't know if they still do the koala holding things, but even then, they
do. But even then, you got Sydney Zoo's about an hour away, not even half an hour, 40 minutes away from the Blue Mountains.
Yeah. So there's lots of stuff around you can check out.
Just down one road, you just go down the Great Western Highway. We actually grew up not too far away from Blue Mountains.
yeah, that's kind of where we grew up and where we kind of got around. So I will say I'm slightly. I know you guys didn't book the shows. You were saying old mate from Lucifungus booked them. I unfortunately am not going to be able to attend any of the shows because there's no show in Brisbane. There's no show around Queensland, unfortunately. So that's a little bit. But Kyle is going to see if he can make it out to one of your shows around Sydney. So that'll be awesome.
I've got two options. I'm actually right in between. I can either go to the Sydney show or the La La La's because I'm not too far away from Wollongong.
But yeah, so that'll be exciting. Yeah, do both.
Or both. Yeah,
do both. Yeah.
See one and then decide if you want to see the next.
Yeah. If I do one, I'll do both, man, because the other one's a festival as well.
Yeah.
So you have to do both.
The festival's going to be great, yeah.
So you guys have been kicking around for a little while now. So you guys kind of got together in 2018? Is that right? How did you guys kind of get together? Did you know each other from other stuff previously? Did you kind of find each other through wanting to start this project? How did that kind of come about?
It was, I think it was originally Tommy and I met to form another band, which exists to this day. It's called Kombinat Robotron. And with that band, we're doing psychedelic, crowd, noise rock stuff.
Oh, wow.
And and we founded that band in early 2018 as well. And then Tommy and I went on a concert. I think it was Godspeed You, Black Emperor in Hamburg together. And on the train ride there, we were talking about music. And we were both we both like really heavy and slow riffs as well. And then we were like, okay, we should maybe do another band because we can't put this in that whole crowd psychedelic rock idea. Mm-hmm. And then Tommy was like, I know a guy who's playing the bass. He's got a rehearsal room. And shortly after that, the Earthbong was born.
Awesome. Yeah. It's always the guy with the rehearsal room that ends up joining, getting brought on board, right? That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Tell you what, though, there's got to be something to say about that bass tone.
Oh, fat. It is fat. That bass sound is unreal, man. I'm a bass player myself, so I have a lot of appreciation for that. And you guys have released 3 albums so far,
and 1 EP,
and 1 EP. So the albums are Church of Bong, which is the latest one. That was 2023.
Bong, yes.
And then you go back to Bong Rights, and then before that, One Earth, One Bong. Very sort of lots of religious imagery, iconography around weed and the bong stuff there. Is that sort of to playing into sort of the idea of ritualistic use of the stuff, or is it just it's cool imagery or
is it more the ritual of actually using a bong, the whole thing of...
Probably a mix of everything. When we started, we didn't have the intention to build these 3 albums in a development of a weed religion, but it turned out that after Bong Rights, it's like a primitive culture. There's one earth and just one bong, and there's no culture around it. Then you have the Bong Rights. It's a primitive culture. They're starting rituals around using weed, and then the Church of Bong is the final stage of the ritual and making building a society around it. It came naturally. We thought about it afterwards. Was that might be a concept.
That cartoon Avatar.
Sure.
They do all the earth stuff so I always used to be a bonghead back in the day. Bongheads were the ultimate elementals because it was earth, fire, wind, and water. You utilize all 4 of those in one. So you were hanging shit. You were because you are earth, fire, wind, and water. It's you're using all 4 elements to get you to a higher level.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a good way to see it.
Might be a title for the next album.
Hey, well, you know,
The
if
avatar.
you need any clergy for your church of Bong, like I'm actually an ordained minister, so I'll happily like put my hand up to be part of that there.
I'll
And
gladly join.
and for those who are maybe watching the interview that haven't listened to you guys, like I think like Bongzilla and Sleep were just like immediate, like when I was listening to you guys, I'm like that's very clear coming through that stuff. Is that like obviously they've been like a huge influence on the band and your sound and everything there. Are there any other bands that you feel you take like a major, inspiration from for what you guys are producing?
I would say probably Electric Wizard a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of. I would say we take like some approach to like Electric Wizard, he kind of riffs, but we sleep them then. We make them like longer and a bit more. I don't want to say complex because I don't think the riffs are really like complex. It's not like this, but we stretch them and do weird shit with them. But like, if we wouldn't change the structure of like how a riff is progressing, I think, and we would do like the 4/4, just straight 4/4 stuff. It would sound a lot more like Electric Wizard than you might imagine.
Okay,
But then
that's fair enough.
you put in the drumming of Sleep. That's the huge influence for me, definitely. So it changed, and we can make this mixture more interesting and more unique, maybe. Also I would say Sleep is the biggest influence, definitely. But we are all from heavy music, but in different styles and genres, and we bring this together and mix the vocals with growls and screams, do some psychedelic solo stuff in it, and everything grows naturally with every individual in the band, I would say.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, for me also maybe Conan, but that maybe might have gotten a bigger influence on the newer songs that are not yet released. But you will probably hear them in Australia.
Nice.
Or one of them at least. It's heavily Conan influenced. And in terms of like coming up with ideas or songwriting, for me it's also Melvin's huge influence, because I really dig their approach on weird songwriting, and just doing. You probably don't hear that much in our music, but it's like the idea of Melvin's songs. They have so many songs that just develop in a way you don't expect. You have like 2 minutes of heavy riffing, and then there's 3 minutes of a guy hitting a drum and there's a flute playing or something. It's like, what the fuck are they doing? But it shows the potential of what's possible, and what you can get through with, what you can people actually listen to this kind of stuff. And I really like that idea.
That's great. I mean, I love, like, one of the things that Kyle and I have really loved about doing the channel is finding people that are taking like a familiar style and just trying to do it in a different way or a unique way. I mean, we interviewed, we've actually been really lucky this year. Like, we've had a few bands from Europe that we've interviewed. We had Zona on a little while ago. Those guys from Switzerland. There's like thrash metal from out there. That was really cool. And we've interviewed Scopus Magnus from Finland. Those guys were awesome as well. And the Scopus Magnus guys put us onto a band called, and I'm probably going to ruin this pronunciation, but they put us onto a band called Oransi Pazuzu, which is psychedelic black metal kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and listened to that, and I'm like, I wouldn't have thought like psychedelic and black metal could really blend, but the way that they're doing it is just, it's like nothing I've ever heard before, which is exactly what I want. And so we have so much enjoyment. We get so much enjoyment finding bands, and that's one of the, like, when you guys reached out, we were stoked because we love the opportunity to interview bands that are doing that and doing some of this unique stuff. So you mentioned there.
What genres does this sit in? What is it? What is the official genre for this? Stoner doom metal.
We call it bong metal.
Bong metal. Okay.
I think, but genre is just like you can, call it dope metal. Or shit like that. It's metal with a heavy weed influence, yes, but really genre, I know.
Yeah,
I think if you call it doom, it's not
wrong.
It's also not. It's not wrong, but is it right to call us really just doom? I don't think that's correct.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, I'm think what's really funny to me, right, is I'm sat here chatting with you guys, and I'm noticing that all three of you, in your own different ways, look exactly like the people that we normally see in like the Australian metal scene over here. Each of you in your own ways has your own, like, you look exactly like you could just, if I didn't hear you speak, I could easily think that you guys were an Australian band from the look. There was, I mean, weed as an element, as an impact on heavy music, though, is something that just, it goes back literal decades, like to the inception of heavy metal, right?
Or
like
music at all.
And like, music as a whole, general. Definitely. But I mean, if you look at, you go back to the originators, you look at like Black Sabbath and what they're doing, and they like literally having a song, Sweet Leaf, all about fucking weed, which, as a kid, when I was going through my dad's record collection and put that on, like, I didn't realize that's what it was about. I thought it was like a love song or something, and Sweet Leaf was someone's nickname. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I got a little bit,
and then you do it for the first time, and then you're like
a little bit older, and then I was like, okay, yeah, that's now the coughing makes sense. Okay, I understand that now. But yeah, it's been like through everything, and but yeah, as you say, even like prior to heavy metal, going just back into all sorts of like rock and psychedelic music, like marijuana was a big influence through that. What is the deal in Germany with weed? Is it like medicinal? Is it legal for recreational use? Is it
right now? It is legal for recreational use. The laws are a bit weird. You can have to like 50 grams. Just for yourself, can run around with it. It's fine. It's not illegal. You can have up to 3 plants, I think. You can grow at your home.
So you can grow your own.
Also, it's a bit weird, to be honest. Like, if you grow 3 plants completely up, it's more than 50 grams you get. So in that moment, basically, you're doing something illegal. I think it's the law is new and kind of weird.
Okay.
And I'm happy that it is legal now.
But does it stop you from giving it away to friends?
You can give it away, yes, but you should. I think you can't sell. But
that's what I'm saying. If like you and a bunch of buddies all chipped in the one grow room, and then you just went, okay, we'll just all split it. Everyone come in, grab your 50 grams, and go home.
I think it's fine. Yeah, but the idea of the government was, I think, that people who want to really grow and give it away to friends, they have to form like weed clubs or something like that, and you can join them, and so the government knows who are the potheads, and
that's fine.
if you're part of like that community or one of these communities, then you can grow more and give it away to other members. I think that was part of the idea.
Good idea. That is
it's a good idea, but it's not really thought through.
No,
everything.
What government thinks anything through?
Yeah, but and the new government now they want to turn everything back, so they want to make it illegal again, and so yeah. So
well, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen, and you fine gentlemen can continue to enjoy your fine leaf.
Even before it was it's get legal. Well, in northern Germany, the cops really don't care. If you're running around smoking a joint and not behave like a complete dickhead, they leave you. Or they catch you and you get 2 grams or so. It's you get a what's the name?
Where caution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you don't go to jail or you get a sentence of
They have that kind of thing over here. So if you get busted with under a certain amount, it's just called what they call a cannabis caution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Bavaria and southern Germany, they will fuck you.
Different, very different.
Yeah.
South Germany is way more strict when it comes to the laws for weed. Even now, when it is legal, it's like we will use the strictest interpretation of the law for every shit. They just hate weed smokers in the south of Germany.
Yeah, look, yeah. It's not for everyone, I understand.
How is it for you guys in Australia? Are there really big differences for the cities when it comes to law?
So I think in most states it's legal for medicinal use. So if you get prescribed and you're buying it from the official places that you're allowed to buy it from, it's okay, but it's very expensive. It's quite expensive to do that, but you can get like a whole range of stuff. You can get like
to a degree.
You can get like the weed, you can get the oil, you can get edibles, you can get kind of stuff there, but it's very controlled as to what you can get, and it's expensive. So you can't just like get the thing that says, "Yep, you can get on this medical weed," and then just buy shitloads of it.
Yeah.
But there's still for recreational use, it's like nah, and they're very strict as well. If you've like. Because they'll have in a lot of states over here as well, they'll have roadside drug tests. So they basically give you like scrape this thing on your tongue, and it detects certain drugs in your system like then and there. So
because it's illegal to have in your system, you just get done straight away.
Yeah. So you got to
because they don't need to check for impairment.
Yeah, you just got to be really really careful with it over here. Because they're quite strict on the if you're over those kind of amounts, you can get some pretty strict pretty harsh stuff if you're fucking around with it in the wrong way. But I mean, there's a growing push, I think, to legalize it here for recreational use. There would be
for anyone out there, we got a vote coming up soon, and you should vote for the Legalised Cannabis Australia Party.
Well, we did say at the start we didn't want to talk politics. I
know, true. My bad.
But like there is a growing push for it here, and I think that overall there's a lot of people starting to understand I mean, our government has done a lot to crack down on like tobacco products as well. They're not banning them. Not banning them, but they
but it's expensive as fuck for you guys.
Yes,
Jesus Christ,
it is. Like they put lots of taxes on them and everything like that. Same with alcohol. Like the alcohol tax goes up like every year or every 6 months or something ridiculous. So it just gets alcohol and cigarettes are very expensive here. But
how much is
Canberra, and it's decriminalised in Canberra.
Sorry. Yeah, nice. So weed it's decriminalised in Canberra, but that's where all the politicians live. So go figure. Sorry, what were you going to say there, Sally? What were you going to ask?
How much is like a 6-pack of beer for you guys? When you say like BB, what do you say was beer you would recommend?
VB, Victoria.
Anywhere between $22 to $26.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the government was now just look. I know we're going into politics again, but the government was just nice enough now to finally freeze the beer tax after 15 years. So what we have in Australia is 4 times a year we get a 20% or 2%.
They bump it up a little bit every
tax increase on all our alcohol.
Yeah, so they're just trying to tax. They're trying to just make it too expensive to smoke or drink, basically.
To get pissed, really.
And I mean, I have no doubt that if they were to bring in legalized cannabis, they would tax it quite heavily in the same way.
Oh, they already do.
So but the revenue that would generate for the country that you could then invest back into the health system would be, I think spectacular. And
phenomenal.
I think if recreational weed was to be legalized, I think you would see a drop in in alcohol consumption, which I think is possibly one of the other reasons. Maybe I think a lot of the, alcohol is very big, sponsoring a lot of sports and everything over here, and alcohol makes a lot of money in Australia, so they don't want to give that up.
Well, we just had an issue with I think we had one of the NRL teams in Australia got sponsored by a medical marijuana company, and there's been this big uproar.
Okay, I don't follow sports, so I don't know.
Yeah, I do, but yeah, so but it's like, mate, you got VB and all that crap. Like, it's a medicine company, like, and then you got all these alcohol companies, and then gambling sort of things on there every 2 seconds, and you're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah. But look, I mean, so you may not be able to drink and smoke as much as you might have hoped while you're while you're over here. But look, you're playing
from Europe, so
you're playing a lot of stoner shows. I'm sure there'll be people that can hook you up.
You'll
with
get
something.
sorted.
With something. Now, you mentioned some new material there you guys have been working on. So it's been a couple of years since the last album. Is there can we maybe expect a new album from you guys this year?
Probably not this year.
Not this year, okay.
Because we are, like now we have the tour coming up. Then during summer we have some festivals. Tommy and I are playing some shows with our other band. We have an album coming with that band in summer, so we won't be able to record until autumn, I think. But that's the plan. So we're not having it fixed yet, but we're trying to record in November probably, and then have it out. Might check on labels, and then
nice.
and then try to get it out as early as possible next year.
Okay, cool. So I mean that seems like a pretty good timeline. Do you guys do your recording in house, or do you tend to work with external parties for that?
Yeah, we like to go out and go to a proper studio and be out of our natural environment and go somewhere else, being more creative, having another person who's maybe working like a producer in a way and give some input to our sound. And I think we are all not good in recording stuff or have any knowledge of the technique or something. We are into the riffs and trying to do this shit.
Yeah, good.
No, the first two albums we recorded in our rehearsal room, in Kiel, and then the third one, the Church of Bong, we recorded in a studio in what's it called, East Frisia, it's in Western Germany, but it's called East Frisia. It's a bit weird. But we were at a friend's house there, and he has a studio and recorded it there. And but for Church of Bong, we finished writing the songs in the studio, and with the next album, we decided to don't rush it that much and just take our time, because we always record everything live to get the energy and the tempo stuff right, and just try to play it through in one run. And so we decided to take our time and really play the songs we want to record live as often as possible to get really used to the songs and hit the studio when we feel really comfortable with everything goes. And that's why we're taking a bit longer with the next record. No, we hope it pays off with the song.
I think it will. I mean, if the stuff that you guys have got out there already is, if you feel like you're going to be putting more pre-production work in, I'm really excited to see what you're able to get out from that, because what you've got out there already is really cool. The production wise, I think it sits right, just in a nice pocket. I mean, part of the thing with that those stoner and stoner metal kind of styles is, especially the heavier ones, it being a little bit not messy in a timing way necessarily, but it kind of being a bit sludgy and kind of a bit ugly sounding almost in certain ways is part of the point of it, I guess. But I mean the production on what you guys have got out there already is awesome. So I'm keen to see what you're able to bring out with putting a bit more pre-production work in there. So I'm really cool. I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye out for that one and following on. And hey, maybe when you guys are ready to release that, we can get you back on and we can talk about the new album. And maybe another Australian tour. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, we're definitely up for that.
Yeah. No,
But let's see how this tour works.
I reckon it'll go all right.
Yeah.
I've just I didn't even know there was this festival. I've never heard. Is this the first year it's running, or what's the go with it? Do you guys have much information on the festival?
The Stone to Death in Sydney,
Yeah,
or
Stoned to Death. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know that
Okay.
SunBurn has been on for probably 6 years, and it's like SunBurn 6 this year.
Yeah.
But Stone to Death, I'm not
First
sure.
or second time, maybe.
Okay. All right.
So I'm just trying to
That's
see
what
what
it
I
is.
can
I
get.
love it where it's like when I try to explain it to people, it's like it's music for when you're having a session. You know what I mean? It's like the songs go for a really long time where you can start your session, get halfway through your session, you haven't missed out on the song. It's just still going, and it goes on. You go on the journey with it, like as you go through your session. Because full disclosure, I've been using it the way it's meant to be used. So I'll be getting pretty baked while listening to it. It's been great.
I mean, yeah, this is the thing. Like the journey that the music takes you on, and as it develops through the course of a song, is awesome. And I think in a world where, you know, the ebb and flow of an album as a whole is sort of becoming a bit of a lost art. It's nice to be able to put on something, you know, a song that's got a bit of heft to it, and that can go for sort of 18 or 20 minutes. And can have that ebb and flow within the song itself, rather than even having to have a whole album there necessarily. But I mean, I also think, and I feel like maybe they're not quite as heavy as what you guys do, but like over the years, I've kind of dipped in and out of listening to a lot of stuff by like Stoned Jesus as well. Those guys are doing some cool stuff there. Sleep, it's been a minute since I've listened to Sleep, but I did used to listen to some of their stuff a little while ago, so like it's I think I'm about to go on another trip of diving back into a lot of these stoner influenced metal bands, because I keep forgetting, you know, I'll go on a tear of listening to some stuff, and then I'll tangent of listening to other stuff, and then comes back around again. So that's really exciting.
I think it kind of doesn't get enough sort of credit as like the sort of a progression of what grunge was towards the end, where it started to get real sludgy and heavy and really tiptoeing with the distortion. And yeah, it's great to get something with a bit more balls.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
What's a different?
That's where
it's
where the
progressive at the
Melbournes
same
come back
time.
in.
Yeah.
Well, like it's a different. That's the thing, though. I mean, it's a different type of heaviness from, you know, what, like you talk to a lot of people about really heavy music, and a lot of them will think of like maybe your death metal or your deathcore stuff, your down tempo bands, stuff like Black Tongue or whatever, which gets into like super down tuned things as well there. But like stoner metal and those influences there is that's a different type of heaviness that you're listening to there, and we love heavy shit over here. It's what we do. It's, you know, if you can find me something that's super heavy in like whatever way, I love that. Whether it's just heavy like on an emotional way because it's the subject matter, whether it's heavy because it's, you know, really down tuned and the riffs are like very intense and it's like the kick drums punching you in the face every time, or whether it's heavy because it's like what you guys do, which is just like that. You're listening to it and the kind of sludginess of it, like it feels like you're moving through, like you're trying to run in a nightmare, you know, and you like when you try and run in a nightmare and you can't move because you feel so, your body feels heavy. That's like the equivalent for me when you're listening to, you know, the kind of music you guys are putting out there.
Yes.
And I think
That's a perfect description.
Yeah,
that was really good.
I'm gonna steal that for a band.
Go for it. Absolutely, you guys can have
music
that.
for running in nightmares.
Yeah.
But that's a feedback we got yesterday, and then that's maybe something special about the live shows. You lost your feel of time. We played like 55 minutes maybe, and people say it was like a maelstrom of sound and riffs, and it's just suck you in, and yeah, you lost your feeling of reality. It's just the sound, the loudness, all this, and it's a great feeling. I think it's for me the same. I like.
You'd be sitting there high as shit, and then that riff comes back around again. It's like, how long has this song been going? Where am I?
Yeah.
What's
That's
going on
always
here?
the best part, like bringing back the riff,
Yeah.
but slower.
But like stoner stuff almost has a bit of an element of like prog just woven into it naturally, right? Like, because you're just approaching it from such a different way of, you know, quote unquote normal songwriting. Like the structure of the music that you guys are putting out there is like, if you've got a song that's going for 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 20 minutes, you can't approach it from a normal structure perspective. You have to arrange it from a totally different angle. And it just, the way you have to think about that and put that together to keep it from becoming boring or becoming too repetitive in a bad way. Like, it's a skill. It's underrated. I think a lot of people could learn quite a bit from, you know, like if you want to, people look at what sort of songs they want to study to understand musical composition. Like, stoner metal has a place in that discussion because it's nothing else like it. You know?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the deal is like not what you play, but how you play it, and that's where probably in our music, like Tommy's drumming is really an important part, because if we would play these riffs with another drummer who would just play a regular beat to it, it would be totally boring maybe, because what makes it stand out is like the drumming is really, it's flying over it, and sometimes I turn around and I see Tommy playing. I don't know what the fuck is he doing, but he's always coming back in the right moment when we need to be on time. Then he's there, and there's just the hit, so you can always keep nodding to it. So yeah, it's the big part is that just how you play it.
I think that's what keeps it engaging, though, as well. Especially like if you like being someone that listens to music so much. When you sort of get lost in that, and that's what you're trying to accomplish here, you're trying to get people to suck them in and get lost in the music. It's those off beats and those weird time signatures that are getting thrown in between that, for me, that really prick my ears up and that's what kind of helps the journey kick along and keeps the pace of it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great example of one of the concepts that we've talked about on the channel a fair bit recently, which is when you bring an idea back around, it should always be different. So while you might repeat a riff, there'll be something different going on to the last time the riff featured in the song, you know, and whether that's the drums being different or whether it's a different sort of vocal thing going on with it, or there's a different layering happening around the guitars, you know, it's just such a great, this is where you know, stoner metal and doom metal, it just really shines on these longer songs, is it brings that around and demonstrates that example perfectly of just when whether you call it a chorus or a verse or whatever, when it comes back around, if the song's 18 minutes, you've got to be doing something different when it comes back around to keep people interested and engaged with it.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful example.
We have the thing also with like sometimes our riffs are just like one repetition of the riff is already 1.5 minutes or something like this.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's like the riff is so long and so not repetitive inside one playthrough of the riff that when it comes back again, you're like, oh, I need to try to understand what's happening now. Like there's some form of engagement there, I think, like a little bit like a riddle or something, it's a weird metaphor or something, but like you want to understand what is happening. And when you have like that long songs, it's a bit more interesting for me personally, I think. When you have like a 3-minute song, it's way easier to just understand what is happening.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's brilliant stuff. And it really is, you know, at the fringes of like the boundaries of you know, what's happening in music. You know, I love those genres. I love I love those genres and those bands that are just, like I said, doing something different and sort of going, right, what's been done before? How far have people taken it before? And how can we push past that? How can we push into something different?
The approach is to make consequent music. This is what we like. If you see a band and they do their thing, but do it right and do it consequent, and maybe don't have too much listeners or fans or something, but the three guys at the show, they understand what you're doing. Why are you doing it that consequent? These are the right people, and they get it. And I think that's important, to be authentic and consequent.
Yeah, no, agree.
Yeah, not
100% agree.
write music for people and for expectations of what people might like. But just we came together to write like the music we would like to listen to, and that's basically the music of Earthbong is what we would like to have when we listen to stoner doom or to stoner metal or doom or whatever. That's like, would be nice if that would be nice to happen, or that would be nice to happen. Let's make it like this, and we just like to create the music that's not in the world in exactly that form that we are doing it. So we are doing it ourselves.
It's good. If you can't get someone else to do it, if you can't get what you want off someone else, do it yourself, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, just try and constantly in search of the heaviest song in the world.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, when you obviously you like do a lot of different projects, there has to be, I guess, one or two that you're really trying to press or push the envelope and open up new ideas where, okay, everything's a good idea, nothing's a bad idea until you throw it on the table and give it a go. And that's the way we're going to grow and progress and, become better musicians at the end of the day. And then you can write 18-minute songs that are engaging and that don't fall off. Like that is an art.
And this is the thing.
What we learned. That's what we learned with the last albums and now with the new songs. The whole process. You can hear we are more together now. We know where we want to go. So the new songs are the actual essence or the state of art at this point in time where we are, and it feels really, really good.
Nice. I'm excited. I'm super keen to hear that stuff, even though it's a way off. I'm super keen to hear that new stuff because like it's like you guys are just taking this stuff to I feel like a realm that a lot of people maybe don't realize that can exist for this type of music. And I think that once they hear it, they will recognize, there's new possibilities there. Yeah. Because it's not, this is what, like one of the things we often say in it, that a lot of Australian bands, Australia is quite a, relatively small population for a very, very big physical country. Metal is a very niche genre over here. And so most heavy bands over here, when they start out, they know that the chances of them, quote unquote, making it or being able to make a successful career out of it are extremely lower than they even would be for a band that was doing it in America, where there's, kind of one of the biggest markets for it. And so rather than go, okay, what's trendy, like what can we do that's going to get us fans necessarily, they go, well, what do we want to do? They take that approach, like you said, this is what's the music that we want to hear that we're not hearing, let's make that. And it creates this, like artistic integrity, I think, that is that just really shines through, which is one of the reasons that Australian heavy music, we find is just, it's on a level that so many people outside of the country just don't have any idea about.
And even when you get over here, get into the indie stuff like Amel and the Sniffers and
but they are pretty big in Europe.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. They're like headlining festivals here.
There you go. Yeah. Perfect. That makes me happy. That makes me happy.
And that's the thing. Like, this is what we mean. Bands can go overseas and do festivals in Europe and headline festivals in Europe and then come back to Australia and struggle to get people through the doors because even Australians don't even always know what's going on in their own country with music. But there's like,
I did not know that was selling.
There's an artistic integrity about it, of the heavy music that is here, which is why I think there's such a high standard here, you know? And what we're rapidly discovering, especially this year with interviewing so many European bands, is often it's kind of the same everywhere with a lot of bands that are on the same kind of level, right? Like, you know, bands are, these days when it's so much easier to reach your audience, bands are just staying truer to who they are and what they want to be and what they want to do, and just putting out just music that is crazy good, like unreal. It's on like the kind of level that, you know, the amount of great music that's out there these days, it's unreal, and it makes us so happy, and it's part of the reason that we love doing what we do with the channel and seeking out new bands. Like, it's why we have our series that we do called Rockin' Round the World, where we spin a randomizer and try and find a random metal band from a random country and check out what they're doing.
That's how I found you. When you
awesome.
because you had an episode about our friends from 10,000 Quadratkilometer gegen die Zeit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I saw them posting about it, and I was like, damn. How did they find their way to Australia?
Mate, I'll tell you what, that was a
a gem. That was great.
That was a gem. They're awesome. They're right up my alley.
We've been trying to coordinate something to have them on to interview as well. So we're but yeah, like finding all of these crazy and just amazing bands from all over the world. And like I said, that's how we found Scopus Magnus, like those guys doing, you know, Finnish sniper metal, which is just a great, you know, a tongue-in-cheek concept, but like really well executed. You know, I think we found some people from like Madagascar that are doing metal, and there's like 3 heavy metal bands in Madagascar, so we checked some of them out. There's like literally all over the world, in every corner of the world, there is heavy metal to be found, and we love it so much, because the more unique it is, I think the more there is to be dissected and engaged and just found from that. Now, obviously, Australia is not the only things you guys are doing this year. You guys have got some more shows as well. So through May, you're playing the Doom and Bloom Festival. Is that right?
Yeah. It's like a skate park festival in Eisenach in Germany. It's like run by a young band called Tonda. Really great guys. We played a couple of shows with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to them. And they are hosting that festival, and we always wanted to play like a skate park festival, because we really like the idea of like playing like standing in a bowl and playing, and there are skaters all around you.
That's mad.
So
it's finally going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a band that I used to play in, like a grunge band called Skunk Bone, and there's a group of bands around Brisbane that does shows at skate parks like regularly. They coordinate for these free events, and they're like community events, all ages events, to try and get kids there and interested in music, and try and encourage them to like get involved in maybe music or skating, rather than getting involved in something that's a bit, you know, not so good for them,
like drugs,
smoking weed.
But you know, these are like these shows are sort of done in conjunction with the local councils, and so the councils fund them and help to cover the equipment costs and pay the bands and everything. So yeah, like skate park stuff is fun, because you know, you just get to be hanging out there and everyone's skating and doing some cool shit, and then you're just playing music. It's a bit of a different setting to what you'd normally experience. So yeah, those awesome stuff. Shout out to the Schema Collective guys. Love your work.
Yeah. Absolutely a dream for me. Like I'm skating. Well, I'm still skating in my age now, and I love skating so much. And when I was younger, this would be absolutely a dream for me. Like going to a concert and skating, it would be just perfect. Yeah. But so I'm like really stoked to have the possibility to do something like that. Like playing a show with skateboards around me. How nice is this? Like, I'm really happy about it, and I'm glad to hear that you guys have something like this in your area. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's crazy. And it's great as well because they'll often feature, you know, they'll have some more experienced bands like higher up on the lineup, but the openers will quite often be, you know, young bands, maybe even their first gig. One of the ones that I went to was a group of kids from the local high school, and they were all like 14 and 15 years old, and they'd got together and learned a few covers, and they just wanted to play for some people, you know. And so for them getting the opportunity to perform in front of people for the first time was like that was really cool, and everyone's really supportive of what, you know, that the kids are getting out there and doing that and taking an interest in music, because realistically that is the next generation of bands that's coming up, right? Like if you don't get people interested in music during that time in their lives, it's really hard to get them into it later on. So yeah, loving that. And you guys are also then in July, you guys are playing Blue Moon Festival, which I believe is a multi-day festival. Where's that one? Where does that take place?
It's in Cottbus in eastern Germany. It's like south of Berlin. Yeah, and that's gonna be really nice because I hope we get to meet the fucking Melvins. They're headlining there.
Fingers crossed.
It's a great festival. We don't know yet like the schedule. We don't know on what day we're playing and when the Melvins are playing and all that stuff. But it's a fantastic lineup, and I think the guys saw us play last year at Stone from the Underground in Eastern Germany too. Eastern Germany has lots of great stoner and doom festivals, and they asked us if we wanted to play there, so it's gonna be a nice one.
Good, that's really cool.
Busy.
I'm probably gonna murder the pronunciation of this next one, so just do forgive me. Kraknacht, is that Kraknacht? Okay, and that's in November. Is that that's another festival? Is that right?
I think that it's like a skate park you went to, but indoors.
Okay, I
think. And I also I think I confused like the Doom and Bloom. Is it no, I was right. That's in Eisenach, and Kraknacht is in Wittenberg, and it's almost the same story with Doom and Bloom stuff. We played a show in January in Erfurt in Germany, and there was a guy who was running the Kraknacht event, and he asked us if we wanted to play, and he said they are a skating collective, and they have like a indoor skate area, and they are doing a festival there. So I think it's just a one-day event, but another skate event for us.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I got one of my friends is also like a real I never got into like skating myself because I was just too uncoordinated, and I knew I was gonna like break my neck if I tried to.
Yeah, I broke an arm trying it when I was like 8 years old, and I never recovered from that.
But yeah, like I got one of my friends is he actually used to drum in SunBurn that I just mentioned. Like he would be he would be all about like a stoner metal at a skate park. He would that's like right up his alley. He'd be so stoked with that. But that's awesome. Like you guys are keeping, like you said, you're keeping quite busy this year. Obviously, you've got a bunch of stuff going on with your other band as well. What did you say the name of the other band was? I want to try and look that up so I can listen to some once we're finished here.
Called Kombinat Robotron. It's another hard name. I can send you a link also.
Yeah, maybe if you could send me a link afterwards, that'd be awesome. Rather than me trying to figure out how to spell that. But that's awesome. So, but look, we are going to have links to everything. I'm just going to run through these show dates again so that people can keep track. So this is all in April. We've got the 11th at the Vault in Geelong, the 12th at the Crown and Anchor in Adelaide, the 17th at La La La's in Wollongong, the 18th at Potbelly in Canberra. It's a great spot, the Potbelly, by the way. I've been down there a few times. Canberra's great. The metal scene in Canberra is really, really good. 19th at Stoned to Death in Sydney. The 24th at the Bendigo Hotel in Melbourne. Also a really good venue. I've played there as well. I love that joint. Really, really good spot. And the 26th of April at SunBurn 6 Festival in Frankston. We will have links to as many of these shows as we can down in the description. So if you're near any of these, highly encourage you to grab your tickets, go and make it worth their time to come to Australia. Go to the shows. Are you going to have merch? Is there going to be merch or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the shows, buy the merch, buy these guys a beer because they've spent a lot. They will have been putting a lot of money into this thing. So buy them a beer. Or two.
Oh yeah.
Let them, show them that you appreciate them coming all the way over.
Show them that good Aussie hospitality.
All the way from across the world. Show them that Aussie hospitality and just G them up. Go and listen to their stuff right now. It's awesome. Look, thank you so much, Klaas, Tommy, and Sally. This has been great chatting to you guys on the podcast today. We will have the quick question quarter and get in the bin coming up on the weekend. So if you're listening to this on the podcast feed, make sure you go and check those out on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube or you've listened this far, thank you so much for listening to the whole episode. That's very, very much appreciated. I have been the Reverend Raff. He has been the Beer Buddy Kyle. This has been Klaas, Tommy, and Sally from Earthbong. Go and listen to their shit. It's well worth your time. Go to the shows, buy the merch, buy these guys a beer because they will have absolutely earned it. Stay safe, look after each other, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.